All right, guys, we have come to the end of Tales from the Crypt completely. I have now watched all 4 films and the entire television series. Technically 5 films if you want to count Vault of Horror as well, but I did review all the Amicus anthology movies, Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror being 2 of them. But this is it. This is the end, man. A long journey. This has been a lot of stuff. I want to say like 93, 96, 95, 98 videos to do this. Jesus, man, a lot of video. Almost 100 videos have been posted to do this. But let's do it. Let's talk about Ritual. A little Tales from the Crypt action up here. When they couldn't sell it, they wanted to throw that on and then sell this really cheap ass pretend Crypt Keeper here. It's like so clearly downgraded. It's not the same Crypt Keeper. Well, it's, you know, same voice, but just this is clearly like a last minute effort. But I first saw this movie maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, somewhere in that area. And I was pretty surprised. I dug it. Can anyone hear that? There's like a bug or something. It's super loud. Oh my God. What the fuck? Is that a bug? Anyways, hopefully you can't hear that, but it's so loud I can't imagine you can't. Shit. Am I going to be able to film with that damn thing? What in the hell? Shut up. Oh yeah. God dang it. Anyways, alright, let's continue through this. Hopefully, maybe I should take this inside. Alright, so now we're inside because that bug was so goddamn loud and I have no light on me. Maybe over here? Maybe. Yeah, I should just start this thing over, but that's not the kind of person I am. Alright, so I watched this movie about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, or whatever, and I was expecting it to be just awful. And I ended up really enjoying it. And so when I went back to rewatch it this time, I was actually like, alright, is this going to be any good? Is this going to hold up pretty well? And since it was such a recent time, I was like, it probably will. And it did. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not Demon Knight. I think I personally prefer it to Bordello of Blood, honestly. They're comparable. They're just such different movies. This one is serious. Bordello of Blood is not serious. This movie has gratuitous TNA. Not nude TNA, just clothed TNA. We got some Jennifer Grey and this other girl in the movie. They're constantly in really tight shirts that expose, leave literally nothing to the imagination at all, and in panties. And then the Crypt Keeper's opening is with a ton of girls and just close-ups of their side boob and their bras, and they're really selling sex like crazy in this movie, which fine by me. Jennifer Grey is just wonderful. I think she is just so damn beautiful, and she looks fantastic in this film. I know she got a nose job since her Dirty Dancing and Ferris Bueller days, but I definitely prefer the more Dirty Dancing Jennifer Grey look, because I just think she's much cuter there, and that's not an age thing. That little change is not the greatest, but I think she's still fantastic looking. And I just looked at a picture of her recently, and she still looks pretty damn good. So she's aged extremely well. But you can just tell this is such a dramatic downgrade in production value from the others, and I think that hurts the film. And one place where I can definitely say a big extreme negative is in this CGI use. Oh, it's bad CGI, and it's so unnecessary. We also have Craig Schaefer in here, and we have Tim Curry as well. Both been in tons of horror movies. We have, this is a remake of I Walked with a Zombie, which is supposed to be getting remade again. It's supposed to be in development right now, so there might be yet another Ritual or I Walked with a Zombie. We get some really good opening gore here. The doctor that dies, he completely melts up. But this movie is all mind fuckery. And so I can't really complain with all the fake outs because the fake outs are part of the plot. Like, the fake outs aren't really fake outs. They are happening. They're fucking with their mind. Like, she has the ability to make people see what she wants them to see. Obviously, this is a spoiler discussion, and I was not expecting the ending. I did not expect this chick to turn on her. I just didn't. I didn't see it coming. I did not. I will admit that. I was kind of bummed because I really liked this girl. But honestly, I understood where she was coming from. I really wish she wouldn't have had to do it to a couple of these people. Like, there's some of them that deserve it, but they're, Jennifer Grey and the guy that she's helping, that she comes and flies out there for, like, they just didn't deserve it. So I was like 50-50 on that. Like, I totally get why you're doing it. Like, this family has fucked over your family and you're trying to get vengeance for your mother. And that I get, but you shouldn't have to bring Jennifer Grey into this. The opening with Jennifer Grey I thought was really good. I thought there was a lot of really good drama fleshed out here. The drama of Jennifer Grey, having a kid die because she prescribes her this medicine that her doctor, Ned the Head Ryerson, tells her no, like, you can't give it to her. And she's like, she's gonna die. Like, I give this to her and she dies, or I don't give this to her and she dies, or possibly a very small chance I give this to her and she lives. Like, which one do you want me to do? Like, can we take the small chance, or can we take the 0 chance she's absolutely going to die? So she makes that decision, and we get to see that she's a morally centered person. Like, she can't just follow orders when need be, like when it comes to her jobs on the line. And this is a person who went to medical school for years and dedicated her whole life to this, and she risked it all to save a little girl's life, and it didn't end up going her way. Like, it ended up killing her technically, even though she was going to die anyway. So she gets blamed for it. She's put on suspension for 2 years, and I feel like any good person can completely relate to this. To watch a little kid die when you know that there is a chance you could save them, it would be very hard as a human being. And I know that as a doctor, you're supposed to detach yourself from that shit, but you're a person. If you can detach yourself from that, I really need to question you. Like, how can you detach yourself from something like that? So I completely understand where she comes from. Another place where the drama worked really well for me was in the brothers. The brothers going back and forth at each other once the brother realizes that he's not sick and that he wants control, and that his brother sold the thing, and that he wasn't consulted, and that he's going to go get his power of attorney taken back so that he can be a part of this and all. Like, I thought the way they were fighting and interacting, especially the other brother, not Craig Schaefer, but the other brother, I thought his acting was really solid, and I felt the drama, and I felt bad for the guy, and I was in the moment. So I thought the acting overall from them was really good, and I think this film won't get any credit for that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna give it its damn credit right now. And just playing off of also that idea that she lost her career and she still killed the kid anyways. Like, the guilt, like, that's like double guilt. Like, I did something to end my career and I got a kid killed. But she has to know, like, in her rational mind, she did everything she could. But I think in that irrational mind that we tend to live in sometimes, we sit there and we blame ourselves for everything. And we see that as, we killed her and we didn't save her, we didn't do enough. And it's like, you risked your career, you fucking sure as shit did enough. So, but that is still lingering in this film, and it's very apparent because it keeps playing off of her mind. I don't think they play enough off of it. I feel like that kid should have haunted her more throughout the film. They play more off of, like, people attacking her and more of her, like, primal fears, as opposed to, like, her, her fear, or her disillusioned feeling that she has towards losing a patient like that. So I feel like we could have played a little heavier on one than the other, but regardless, I do think that made her more susceptible to attack. So yeah, her integrity is great, and I really connected with her character because of that. She's told that this guy's brother thinks he's a zombie, which of course, her being a medical doctor, she would have to be like, okay, this is bullshit. I'm here to figure out, like, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm gonna figure this out. And she sets out to do just that very thing, and she ends up having some kind of a romantic entanglement with her patient, which of course is frowned upon. But hey, she's not a practicing medical doctor anymore. So you can fuck your patients if you want to. I mean, no one's going to say anything, but she's still kind of resilient to it, or, because she, that's what she's used to, and she knows that it's a bad code of ethics. Like, it's against the code of ethics. So, resistant, not resilient. I knew I was fucking that word up, but I kept like kind of circling around. That's funny. I was like, wait, what did I say? And I was trying to, that's funny. Oh, Lord. Edit. Just kidding. I don't do that. And she figures out that they've been poisoned. And I really like how she goes and confronts Craig Schaefer. Like, she goes in there and she's just baller about it. She just goes in there and she's just like, like, I found you out. And just so you know, like, I'm having people call tomorrow to make sure I'm not dead. Like, don't try to pull your bullshit on me. I've covered all my bases here. I just like how confident she is. I like how, like, cold she is in that moment. It's great. It's not like, and one thing I wasn't really exactly feeling though in the realism was when they figure out that he was being poisoned by somebody, and that somebody was doing it to him on, for some reason, and blah, blah, and it wasn't just he picked up something. They don't seem to be all that, like, blown away by that idea. Like, they're just, like, talking about it like, oh, that's what happened? Okay, well, let's try to figure this out. Like, it's so anticlimactic on, like, usually in movies when people find that kind of stuff out, like, oh my God, you're being poisoned by your brother because he wants to take over the estate and you're half the money and he wanted a power of attorney over you and whatever. Like, that would be a big reveal. That'd be the dun dun dun, and the guy goes for the revenge and whatever, and it's just not there, which is odd. And the reason it's usually in movies is because that's realistic. So, yeah. And towards the end, I mean, there's so many things I could talk about here. That guy has the cops in his pocket, which is pretty scary in a place like that. We have Jennifer Grey dirty dancing here in the church, and she's got like a wet white t-shirt on. Oh man, that scene was damn sexy. But there is a scene later when the brother, Craig Schaefer, is like, gonna blow the zombie powder in the brother's face, and Jennifer Grey then ends up doing this because I was like, just blow it in his face quick. Like, he's got it right here, just go, boom, like, he's fucked. But then she does it where she's being forced to do it to her friend, and she twists it around and does it to the chick. With that scene, though, it's kind of dumb to me because she has the ability to get an antidote for that, and she's only been there for a couple weeks, and she almost knows nobody, and she just talked to a maid in the house, and she took her to the proper witch doctor or whatever to make her an anti-zombie medication or something. The chick who's lived there her whole life, the chick who has the ability to manipulate people's minds and get whatever she wants, she doesn't have the antidote. She doesn't have 100 followers sitting right there that would know how to get it and to fix her before, like, they buried the other guy alive. And I don't understand the point of turning them into zombies, because at the end of this movie, they're not zombies. They're not like flesh-eating, brain-dead. They're like catatonic. They're just laying there alive, but not alive. Because the police chief or whatever the hell he is usually is using her as like a rape zombie, like a fucking blow up doll, and he marries her technically, and he's taking her into the room to abuse her sexually for all of his six pleasures for as long as he wants, which is really fucked up because I'm sure she's conscious and just watching this disgusting man have his way with her, which is just a horrible punishment. But I mean, hey, she tried to kill people. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah. So I just thought that was, I didn't understand. Like, I don't understand what the point of turning them into zombies was. A, except for just catatonia, and also B, like, how she doesn't have an antidote to it if one does exist and is so readily accessible on the island. That just doesn't compute. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work. And is that it? I think so. But yeah, that's good enough. I think I covered everything I need to. But as I said, I liked I liked the tone, the atmosphere. Didn't have much of a budget. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I guess I'm just trying to extend it a little bit because I know this is the end. This is no more. So that's a bummer. But Tales from the Crypt is done. I did it all. Fucking bug interrupting my shit out there. But hey, we got to film in here even though you can't see me. That's okay. You don't need to see me. This will be more like a fucking, what are the hell are those things called? Podcast. I don't ever listen to those things. So yeah. I don't know what's next, but I'll figure it out. I know that tomorrow I am going to the Mad Monster Party in Scottsdale, and I am stoked out of my fucking mind. I got this shit all done right under the wire. Fuego, man. Let's do this shit. All right, guys.